Om Namah Shivaya. So my spontaneity has turned into a fruitful effort. So I'm outside right now enjoying the wonderful weather that's actually getting quite warm, but it still feels pretty good. And I began to come into an experience of awareness where I realized how much what nature has to offer is for our own benefit and our own ability for growth, our own path of growth. And in fact, as I say this, I realize truly how beautiful that is. And I think that is a major reason why so many people truly value and cherish nature. Not just as something to be saved, but as something to be genuinely connected with. As I continue on my experience and process, I have come to moments and periods of time where I realize very suddenly that there is the experience that I'm having that I wish to not deny. And they generally revolve around the emotional side of experiences and challenges and also awarenesses. And when I come into some of these experiences, I've had this enough times now that I've really begun to see the correlation. And what I realize is psychoactives, medicines are enormously beneficial to our personal growth and our humanity. I know that by my participation in those substances, of whatever plant material it was, it's always been beautiful. I've never had a negative experience. I'm not saying that it's not something that isn't hard. I'm saying that it's always beautiful. Always beautiful. And the number, that first initial part of it, the challenge of undertaking that altered state, is one part of it. It allows you to focus through it. It lets you kind of get you familiar by choice in a manner where you feel safe and where it's conducive. And so that intensity that you can experience in that state is one that you can then translate to the intensity of your awakened state, of your living state. And that's the first aspect of it that I absolutely have cherished as the greatest gift I've ever been given. And the more I continue on this, I mean, when I say life is a trip, I'm not kidding. I have had crazier experiences in my living, waking life than I've ever had in an altered state. And it's stuff that I'm just like, you know, like it's intense. And being offered the opportunity to be aware of my experience and be able to allow it in whatever volume I can, in whatever way I can, that is a personal, that's the personal experience, that's the personal evolution. And the second thing that I've noticed that has been of beautiful, wonderful, you know, side effect, that is something that I don't know, I guess I never thought of it, is that it makes me kinder to people. And as I go through the first part of that with the struggle and facing myself without judgment or inhibition, like, you know, trying to control it, I instead am allowing for who I am. And in that moment, I get to meet myself. And the more that I meet myself, it's almost like the more I meet everyone around me, because we're all human. We all have a part to play. We all have a unique experience, and that's invaluable. But there's also this degree of commonality that goes on between all of us. It's more of the unspoken. I think that this kind of would be when I think of this kind of in a light-hearted way, I think of it kind of like people, I don't know, like, how do they describe it? They get a feeling, like they get a vibe, you know, kind of a thing. I call that energy. And that energy is something that it's there, but until you've met yourself, you don't know what you're feeling. You don't know what that could be, because it's not for the mind to figure out. It's for the body and for the emotions and for our experience, our living experience, which has nothing to do with thought. That is something that I'm coming to a place, even though I can still feel this uncertainty with it, as long as I acknowledge all of who I am, I can then acknowledge others, and then all of a sudden far less people are threats to me. I like more people than I think I probably would. I like other kinds of people than I probably would personality-wise. I accept all kinds of things that I never could before. That's the huge part. So I think I've opened up my world. That's what that did. And it wasn't an act. It wasn't an effort. It wasn't me saying I'm going to do this. It just happened. And that is the other greatest gift that I've ever found that comes from that exchange. Two of the biggest things. How does it happen? That's for you to find out, right? Yeah. So thank you for hanging out with me in this beautiful, wonderful place. And I'm so glad to be able to share this experience with you. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. You're a wonderful human being, and I appreciate you for being here. For without you, none of this would be possible. Have a wonderful day. Mwah.